Yeah, just the cool I see. And I felt like telling my story today. I'm gonna give it a few minutes. I've tried contacting the White House. I can't get a response. I've tried contacting the Supreme Court. I can't get a response. I've tried contacting the FBI. I can't get a response. I've tried contacting the CIA. I can't get a response. I've contacted the Los Angeles Police Department where I spent 40 years. I can't get a response. Contacted the governor of California, Brown man. I can't get a response. I'm currently in Alabama where I started. I contacted my local police department, the Adamsville Police Department. Can't get a response. I've contacted the Jefferson County Sheriffs and I did get a response. They accused me of something, so I feel like telling my story. I've contacted the Pentagon. I've contacted the House of Representatives. I've contacted the House Speaker. I've contacted U.S. Senators. I've contacted the Attorney General of the United States, and I can't get a response. So I put my story on Facebook already under the name that I was given in America. Can't get a response. So I felt like I just wanted to tell my story for a few moments. I don't really feel like talking about everything because I have too many grievances against the United States. I have a right to air my grievances, but my redress would not be heard at this time. So maybe YouTube is gonna either block me or put some of my story out. Back on July 3rd, 1976, I was a little baby born into this world, and I was stolen from a town that's called Adamsville, Alabama. I was stolen off of a street called Blackman Circle near Meridian, near Mimosa Street in Adamsville, Alabama, by Donald Trump, a man that used to be called Donald Troutland for a city called Bethlehem Steel. Stole me, took me to a Birmingham facility, and then the chase began. The chase was, they were looking for Messiah babies being born, and I was the baby that was taken. It was actually two babies taken, and one happened to the other. Something happened to the other baby. Tell you about it later. It was the 4th of July weekend, and Donald Trump used to be called Jesus. And he was doing A Course in Miracles, and he was one of the lead teachers of God, and he came and stole me as a little baby, as a Messiah baby. That was a law that was going on between Birmingham, Alabama, and Bethlehem Steel. There was a chase that took place when I was stolen from basically it was a hospital. It was where a bunch of babies that had been born were being kept, and I was stolen there on the 4th of July weekend after I was taken there. And what was called the chase, now it's called J.P. Morgan and Chase Bank after Donald Trump told his story to many detectives that's now dead. Anyway, the chase started in Birmingham, Alabama, and there was a helicopter crash somewhere in like Louisiana somewhere, and some people died over there when Donald Trump killed them. And we drove to Texas, and it was still two babies in the car that Donald Trump had stole. And when we got to Texas, there was a standoff with state troopers in Texas, and one or two of the state troopers ended up dying. I don't remember, but I know what happened to the other baby. The other baby was put inside of a trash can or a garbage can, a metal garbage container. And Donald Trump doused the baby with gasoline and lit the thing on fire, and the baby was blown up to smithereens. We ended up driving to Los Angeles, California. It took about a day or two. I don't remember what the name of the driver was with Trump at this time. We made it to Los Angeles, California about 3 days later or so after the chase. Maybe it was 2 days. I think it was 3 days, but I was a baby. We stopped on Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard in Los Angeles, California, between the Los Angeles Memorial Sports Arena and the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum. And the Los Angeles Police Department surrounded Donald Trump's car with his driver. It was maybe about 20 or 30 patrol cars. The whole city of Los Angeles was shut down at this time. You couldn't get off of the 110 freeway. It was between Figueroa Street and Hoover Street. And so I have many powers in my mind, for I am Christ. Yahweh, Yahweh, Yahweh. And so we used some of the powers of my mind at that particular time. And anyway, long story short, about 20, 30 Los Angeles Police Department officers died then at the hands of Donald Trump. Donald Trump sodomized the guys on Martin Luther King Boulevard Jr. Martin Luther King Boulevard Jr. He sodomized them and mostly shot them with their own gun because of the powers in my mind that I didn't realize what was going on because I was just a baby. But anyway, they died. And something else happened. There was an altercation between Donald Trump and I'm not going to name the other individual. But Lulu knows himself. And long story short, there was an altercation between Donald Trump and another fellow. Lasted for a little while, and at the end, Donald Trump got away. And I won't say why, but he knows why. And so God intervened. And Donald Trump died on Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard at the end of that chase. At first his name was Donald Troutland, but his name was also Trump. His name became Trump because Troutland kept being offended by people not being able to pronounce his last names on business cards and some stupid shit like that. But anyway, Donald Trump lay dead 2-3 days on Martin Luther King Jr. Boulevard. And I was a little baby just stuck in the car. I did not eat. I did not drink for about, you have to figure that's about 4 or 5 days from the beginning of the chase. I didn't eat or drink anything. I was just a little baby that was stolen from exactly 2-3 blocks from where I'm at right now, Adamsville, Alabama, all the way 2,000 miles away from here. And anyway, Trump was raised up in my dream. It's called the Forgiven Dream of Christ. It's very well known in A Course in Miracles. A Course in Miracles is my text. Your World put it out on the Oprah Winfrey Show in 2011. Donald Trump was a teacher of God after that time. Anyway, I raised Donald Trump back up from the dead with the power of Christ in my mind. And Donald Trump ended up driving me to his home. And I was a little baby at his home for several months at Donald Trump's home. And Donald Trump tried to name me Jamal Trump. I would not accept that name from him. My name is Christ, or you can call me by my God-given name, Yahweh, Yahweh. I stayed at Donald Trump's basically mansion or estate. He owned about 2 or 3 blocks on top of a hillside, and I was a little baby in his crib, and he was trying to have babies. Donald Trump was having sex with many white girls trying to make a baby that shined as much as me because my light is always shining. He failed epically and ended up, kind of hating white girls after a moment because he couldn't make a white child as great as me, Christ, Yahweh, Yahweh. And so anyway, the Los Angeles Police Department was doing an investigation at this time. This is called 1977. You guys changed the dates around many times. After that time, y'all changed the dates in America many times after that time. So it was called 1977. And the Los Angeles Police Department was escorting Donald Trump from the top of his hillside home to the bottom of his home. And he was kind of like on a restraining order of some sort. But he was still allowed to teach little white children's music. And I was helping Donald Trump with inspiration. He had lost his mind. And he was using minds, Christ's mind. Yahweh, Yahweh. Anyway, around 1978, Trump was writing music for these little kids, trying to learn how to play music, and he wrote some stuff, and he brought me down the hill one time, the little black baby that he was hiding in his home, and he left me. It was in the middle of the winter. He left me in this very, very cold room. He opened all the doors and all the windows and left me overnight, hoping that somebody would steal me out of this little music room. And at that point, once again, God intervened. And I could no longer stay with Trump because he was negligent and he was, you know, a bad caretaker at that time. The police was called and they came to the room and asked what happened. And anyway, after that time, Donald Trump, with the help of the Los Angeles Police Department now, they dropped me off in the ghetto of Los Angeles. One morning they went over to Figueroa Street again, and they got off the freeway or wherever it was, and they ended up on 85th Street in Figueroa, but they wouldn't drive to Hoover. The person was a detective of some sort, took me as a baby from the back seat of Donald Trump's vehicle. It was basically a unmarked police vehicle, and they dropped me off by a trash can dumpster. This is probably about winter or maybe early spring. I believe it was winter, about February of 1978. They dropped me by a trash can dumpster as a little baby and just a baby little carriage and left me there. And then my adopted mom, who I'm staying with right now, she came and picked me up from this trash can dumpster on 85th Street in Hoover. Well, it was 85th Street in Figueroa, but Hoover was the next street. And I ended up living on Hoover and 85th Street for 20 years. After that time, Donald Trump ended up coming back to Hoover Street, and I guess he was surprised that a little baby did not remember him since I didn't have no interaction with him. But before that time, we had some bonding time, and the bonding time was a bunch of black women was they were basically angels, and they were trying to help Trump. They were trying to help Trump to have bonding time with me because Trump is a racist. And so anyway, long story short, on Figueroa and Hoover Street, no, on Florence and Hoover Street, there's a park now called Menlo Park. And Donald Trump wanted to have orgies with these women, with this little 1-year-old baby. And we did some things like that, and I was deemed like a little devil because I didn't stop this white man from basically sodomizing black women. So I was accused by the black race of being the child of a white man, even though the white man stole me from where I was born, 2,000 miles away from this area, a couple of years, well, a year and a half before this time. But anyway, they didn't know me. So I ended up being called a devil for many years, even though I am Christ. Yahweh, Yahweh. God is my father. And so I got in a lot of trouble because of this little orgy thing. I was a little kid, and these women was, they were getting on their knees in my presence, and they would, giving me blowjobs, and Trump started banging these women in their butts. And I got into more trouble. So our bonding time got cut short after a few sessions or so. And I ended up living on, like I said, on 85th Street in Hoover for 20 years. Around 1979, the next year or so, Trump came to where I was going to preschool. It wasn't really preschool, it was kind of like Head Start, but it was at Bethany Church on 84th Street in Hoover. And Trump came, and he came, and I was just a little kid, 2 years old or so, and he came one morning and basically took me out of the church. Like I said, he used to be Jesus, so I guess he had some phobias about going inside church buildings and things like that. But anyway, he took me out of the church as a 2-year-old child, and he enrolled me in preschool at Manchester Elementary School. I was kind of too young, but I know everything that I need to know about this world at this time, and at that time as well. He enrolled me. He took his money because you had to pay for me to go to school, and he enrolled me in the preschool at Manchester Elementary School, and they started a Teachers of God program, and that was on Figueroa and 85th Street, pretty much where they had dropped me off. They was renting a building there, and one day a week they were doing their courses, the Course in Miracles there, and then on another day of the week they were doing it on Manchester Elementary Playground. And Trump was leading this, but it was also called a devil's coat. They believed in an angel that they believed was a devil. They were wrong. But anyway, Trump ended up coming to Manchester Elementary many times. And he was doing some very, very bad things, but, let me not accuse him. Trump would tell these kids to come and jump in his arms and give them his soul. I never seen these children again. All the children that went and jumped in Trump's arms, and when he said give them their souls to him, I never seen these children again. I told him that I would never do that. I told him he had to give me his soul. He ended up dying later after that anyway again. So anyway, around 1980, I started kindergarten, and they kept changing the dates, and so kindergarten ended up being around 1981. Los Angeles, California kept changing their dates around. Every few weeks or every few months, they'll tell the people in Los Angeles to change their calendars and let the rest of the world catch up with their calendars. And they did that for a long time until I told them to stop doing that, changing the calendars and telling the rest of the world it was a date in the future when it really wasn't. And so around 1980, when I was in kindergarten, Donald Trump was still a teacher of God at this time. And it went all the way into 1981. And he started with these pedophile thoughts. And there was a council that was brought to Manchester Elementary sometime around 1981, maybe 82. I can't remember exact date because I was a small child and they were changing the dates. And I didn't have nothing to do with the dates of calendars at that time. And so there was a council. There was a divine council that came to Manchester Elementary School on Manchester Avenue between Hoover and Figueroa Street still. And there was a restraining order placed on Donald Trump. There was a 30-year restraining order placed on Donald Trump between me, the Son of God, Christ, Yahweh, and the now sitting United States of American president. It was a 30-year restraining order placed upon him with me because he was a pedophile. So, long story short, Trump was given another opportunity to come to Manchester, and he failed that opportunity. Later on, I ended up going to Bret Harte Preparatory Intermediate School around 1989, and Trump followed me there. That school is on between 92nd Street and 94th Street on Hoover Street, just down the street from the elementary school. And the Los Angeles Police Department used to chase him around the schoolyard. Trump used to just come. I guess he was stalking me or something. I don't know what it was. But so I ended up playing trombone in between this time. In 1989, I started playing trombone. And Trump started running more and more of the music industry. He was already involved in it, but he started running more and more of the music industry. I'm a music producer. That's why on YouTube you have many of my songs that I've just been producing in my basement with my keyboard. In 30 years or 35 years, I've had so many of my songs stolen and put on the radio that it's called intellectual properties that you guys have stolen of mine. And Trump is very well aware of my intellectual properties, more than just making a track or a beat. But after 30 years, I'm still one of the best music producers. I've been doing it that long. I've never been offered a production deal because I'm too good. I'm too innocent. I'm too pure. I'm too holy. And the music industry is full of fags and homosexuals, gay guys. It's full of people that bow down to Trump under some shit called 666 and all this other Mark of the Beast shit that he was running out of Santa Monica with his devil coats. So Once I graduated from high school, around 1995, Donald Trump showed up to my prom at Washington Preparatory High School. This is several years later now. And he shows up to the prom, and the people, I hadn't seen him for a long time. Like I said, there was a restraining order against him, so I had not expected to see him. So I walked right past him, and the students told me that my dad was at the door. Now Trump had ended up getting some kind of birth certificate that he purchased from the city of Culver City, a birth certificate where he started his business. And the birth certificate gave him the rights to be my adopted dad. Now, they were doing a program called Sponsor the Child. It started in 1987. And Trump became my adopted dad on paperwork. The Los Angeles Police Department was well aware of it. The only problem is I was not born in Los Angeles nor in Culver City. I was stolen from Adamsville, Alabama, in Birmingham, in Jefferson County, 2,000 miles away from there. I know that, and Trump knows that, even though he can't call me by the name of Jamal. So Los Angeles County issued another false birth certificate in my name to Donald Trump and naming him my not my adopted dad. So in 1995, when he shows up at the Washington Preparatory High School prom, the kids tell me that my dad is standing at the door, and I walk right by him, and he's feeling a little strange. Well, I didn't see him, nor was I expecting to see him. I walked back out there, and there was Donald Trump standing at the door, kind of in a tuxedo or something, or maybe a white shirt and black pants or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know. And so we have a conversation at that time, and he tell me a few things, and I don't really believe him, but I don't hate the man. My part on planet Earth is to forgive the world, not to judge the world. So I don't hate the man, but I was very skeptical. You show up at my prom and I was, kind of unannounced. But anyway, we had a conversation, and now he's the president. 20 years later, he's the president. Okay, now y'all have some fake guys out there that y'all call the DJ or Donald John Trump. Look, I am the Holy Son of God, Yahweh. Yahweh. And like I tell you, there's more to my story, but nobody will listen to me. So I'm going to put it on Facebook myself. Or this is called YouTube. I put it on Facebook. Nobody will listen to me. Nobody will hear my story. But right now I'm kind of upset because the birth certificate claims that I was born on October 3rd in 1977. And I'm just tired of this world telling these lies about me. Tired of y'all world. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of your world lying about me. So somebody is going to respond to this. Somebody's going to respond to me about this. I'm tired of your world lying, knowing that y'all lying, and then hiding from me. Somebody's going to respond to this. Under Sponsor the Child, my name is Cool IC. Y'all had that other black man out there called Jesus, but Sponsor the Child is Christ-centered. I am Christ. Yeah. Yahweh. Yahweh. I don't hide from nobody. I've been telling y'all for many years, and I'm tired of y'all lying about me. And now that y'all want me to go to court on another false accusation from this racist town called Adamsville, somebody's going to respond to me. If it ain't going to be Homeland Security or the Secret Service or the president himself, somebody's going to respond to me. Because I know you can't just get on motherfucking YouTube and accuse the president of doing all this kind of shit and not get a response. Read my name real good. Read it real good. Read my name and read my name real good. I'm tired of y'all lying on me. I'm tired of y'all lying on me. Nobody can claim to be God and live. I am God's son. Nobody can call themselves God on planet Earth and live. I am God's son. I was created. I did not come out of the womb of a woman, And no white man is my daddy. I was created by God. And I'm tired of you people lying on me. I'm tired of y'all fake names that y'all call me. I'm tired of your fake ass birth certificates that y'all lie on me. And I'm tired of y'all made up stories with your fake ass government. I've tried to contact all of you people and y'all refuse to listen to me. Somebody's gonna get this motherfucker right here. And you're gonna know that I'm not pleased with America. We hold these truths to be self-evident that the Creator has endowed all men with certain unalienable rights. Among these are the right to the pursuit of liberty and happiness. I have the right to free speech. You do not have a right to establish a false religion of liars, hypocrites, devil worshippers that slander the reputation of a great scientist or a great musician or a great dad or a great brother. You do not have a right to prohibit my freedom of the press or freedom of the media. You don't have that right. I do have the right to bear arms. Y'all try to take that right and y'all got me going to court because I was going to bear arms on another racist white motherfucker. Like they been calling me a nigger in this town called Adamsville, Alabama. I told you I was tired of that shit, and another white boy tried to run up on me. Go knock his head. Anyway, I had a right to bear arms on a racist white motherfucker in Adamsville, Alabama. I told y'all sheriffs that many times now in 2018. And now y'all want to take me to some courthouse? Sure, I've been trying to tell y'all my story, first of all, in my name. Y'all keep calling me these other names that y'all have made up for me. It's not my name. I was created by God, and I am God's son, Yahweh. I have not lied to anybody. As a matter of fact, nobody can call God's name and keep telling a lie anyway. Your world keep listening to me telling you about my father, and y'all keep calling me some Christian person. Donald Trump got paid to be Jesus at them black churches. I am spirit, yeah. And y'all go quit lying on me. Y'all go quit lying on me. I have many more things to tell y'all about my story. When y'all ready to hear something from the truth, I already put it on Facebook. Already tried to contact y'all. Already tried to talk to the police. Already tried to talk to the sheriffs. Already tried. Y'all won't listen to me. Now y'all want to take me to court because a racist white motherfucker almost got beat up. Well, you know what? You know what? When Donald Trump stole me, I'm still 2-3 blocks away from where I was born. 40 years later, that's where God has me right now. I'm not hiding. 402 Mimosa Drive in Adamsville, Alabama. My telephone number, 323-422-1562. I never hide from y'all. Never. Y'all hide from me. And I'm tired of y'all calling me like that boy talking about walk. Jesus walks. The next person that calls me Jesus is gonna die. Just like the rest of y'all been dying. I am the Holy Son of God. Yahweh. Yahweh.